Okay, hi folks, and welcome to this special episode of Mountain Speak. Okay folks, here we are. Gear list, right? Bare minimum at the moment. It doesn't look like a bare minimum, does it? Wow. Right, I'll run you through what I'm taking as my bog standard kit list for this bike hike. I am taking some extra luxury items which will be going in our support car, but this would be what I would take if I was just going fully self-supported, which I'm kind of half trying to do just to get used to doing something like that. So I'll run from my right, your left. I'll work my way along and let's see what we end up with. I'll give you some weights and stuff as we go, just roughly kind of an idea of what we're doing. I'll also show you the kind of bike setup as well. This is the first kind of big bike hike that I've done where I'm taking the kit on the bike. I have done one previously on the Isle of Mull, which I did a video on, what would that be, like last year? 2 years ago, I can't remember now. Which was great, but we had everything in the car. This time, the kit's on the bike. So, right, run through. Got my 3-man ultralight quick hiker 3 tent from Decathlon. Great tent. I've done a review recently on that one, so if you can, go and check that out. But that's my 3-man tent, which fits nicely on my front bar bag of the bike. I'm taking that purely because it's a bit more of a luxury item because it's a bigger tent. I don't really need the 3-man. I could take my 1-man, but there's not much room for anything in there. So taking the 3-man tent, that's about 2.6, 2.7 kilos. I also have my brand spanking new, never before being used, Big Agnes Boundary Deluxe sleep mat. I had a lot of problems recently sleeping on the mat that I had from Decathlon. It's just not thick enough. I'm a side sleeper. I need a thick mat. This one is also insulated, which means I can use it year round and I don't have to think about taking extra insulating mats and stuff to bulk up my kit. And the idea is one piece of kit, insulated, one weight. So that's about a kilogram for that. I have these, which again, testing them out. This is a sand and snow peg. We're going to be wild camping on a sand beach, dunes. So I'm taking them just to try them out. They weren't expensive from Amazon. I'll see how they go and I'll let you know. I will link everything in the description. And if you want to go and have a look at it on the actual website, you can, or if it's on Amazon, you can. Next we have extra tent pegs. I've got new tent pegs to try. They're like MSR Groundhogs, so the tri-lobe peg. They are from Amazon as well. Just anodized aluminium tri-lobe pegs. We'll see how we go with them. So I've got that. I have my helium pillow from Decathlon. This weighs 170 grams. I've used this for years now. It's a really good pillow. It's quite small, and it's got like a textile cover over it that you can take off and wash, which is great. But weight, I know 170 grams doesn't sound like much, but other pillows are a lot lighter. I actually got a free one with this Big Agnes sleep mat, but it hasn't arrived. It's coming soon. I think that weighs about half the weight of that. So I'll let you know how that goes. So jumping down to some clothes, I've got my evening wear. So these are basically insulation wears, insulation clothes. I've got a gilet, a fleece, a pair of trousers, a beanie hat and gloves just in case the temperature does drop. It's supposed to be really clear nights and we are on the coast for a lot of this, so if the wind does kick up it might drop down close to like sub 10 degrees, so a wee insulation layer will help. I have my full waterproof kit on the bottom of the screen there. That is waterproof trousers, waterproof jacket and a pair of gaiters because we are going hiking hopefully and it's supposed to be boggy, so I'm taking them. I've got my Jura and Scarborough OS map, hard copy. I've also got a compass which is in my bag at the moment. I've got my wilderness wipes. They are basically just some cleanliness wipes that can be used for a multitude of things, from toilet things to cleaning yourself. So that's what they are, that's what they're for, if we can't get to a toilet or you know, like the hotel or whatever, if we need to. I've then got my Leatherman multi-tool, which I carry with me pretty much everywhere. It's so handy to have, a little small knife, screwdrivers, bottle openers, and even box cutters and things like that in there. I have my Sea to Summit towel. Now I got the extra large towel, but it is very light. Again, I'll put the weights up, and it packs down really small. But one thing these are great at, right, is if they are wet, you just wring them out and go again. They're just so absorbent. I've used this quite a lot on treks and things like that, so that's fantastic to have as a wee towel. Toothbrush, toothpaste is the bare minimum. I do carry a little bit of shower gel just for soap to clean myself if I need to. Down at the bottom there again, we've got the smidge net, and I believe that might be an issue. We'll see in this trip, but apparently the midges are terrible here. I've also got a small couple of tick removers. It was actually given to me by the vets. Luna, our dog, had a tick a wee while ago, and she gave us a couple of packs of them, so I take them as well. Can use tweezers, you can even use a knife, but it's better to get the whole tick out just in case, and these little tick removers are absolutely brilliant for that. I do carry quite a big knife when I go wild camping, for various things, from preparing food to dealing with wood for a fire, and I actually keep that inside the tent with me as well. As a safety precaution, I have recently heard of somebody's tent catching fire at the door, and it would be handy to have something to get out of the tent if you're ever in the tent. Now I could use my little Leatherman knife for that, but I like carrying that because it does bigger jobs. Yeah, I've got some t-shirts, some lightweight t-shirts and boxer shorts here. Back down to the front again, we have got a small Air to Summit Aerolite towel. That's like a hand towel. I actually use that when I'm hiking and biking when I'm really sweaty, if it's really hot, just to dry my head off, because I can get quite uncomfortably sweaty. Sun cream stuff running in your eyes. Speaking of sun cream, that's what this is here. I'm a factor 50 because I'm a vampire. So such fair skin, it's important to keep that sun cream topped up. It's so easily burnt, you're so easy to get burned, but even if you aren't fair skinned, being on a coast, if the weather's supposed to be good, you get quite a lot of wind, especially biking. It doesn't stop the UV rays, the wind, so if you feel cool, it might not be, you might still be getting burned, so sun cream is really, really important. Moving on, I've got this emergency bivvy which I carry. It's actually part of my first aid kit, not just for me, but if I came across anybody, you might notice people like in emergencies will be getting covered with foil blankets and stuff to keep their temperatures up. That's what that's for, so I like to keep a hold of that. My first aid kit, which is pretty well packed this time, I've got everything from ibuprofen and Imodium, paracetamol, to plasters, blister plasters, Skin So Soft, smidge cream for the midges. I've got as much in there as I could fit in there, and without going too heavy with it. Again, I'll put the weight up of that, but yeah, it's a pretty decently packed first aid kit. I have my water filter from Decathlon. I've used this for years now, still going strong. This is one of these cool ones. I'm saying cool ones, it's going to be a bit of a fright when it happens. When the filter's done, it blocks, and you're only ever going to find it out when you need it, aren't you? So what I've been doing is, before I leave the house, I'll give it a check, make sure it's still running, and then go with it. It's quite light, it's a nice soft flask. It's also a water container if you need to like stack up on water, so something to think about, a wee water filter. I have my Sea to Summit Spork. Again, used this for years now. It's a titanium spork with a little carabiner on it. So handy. If, like me, you like your vacuum packed or dry freezed meals, they are quite deep bags. Nice long handle to get right in about the bag, so ideal for that. I've got various different socks, from cycling socks, hiking socks, ankle socks, and I've got a little sweatband on for my wrist there as well. I've got a pair of leggings that I'll use either hiking or cycling, depending on the weather temperature. They're a bit thicker, the leggings, so I'll probably use that in the hiking. I've got my camp meals. I've got a various selection of meals. You'll see that it's a chocolate pudding on the top. I'm going for the really healthy stuff right first. So these are vacuum packed meals. They aren't dry freezed or dehydrated meals. They're heavier, simply, but they're fresher, I think. So I use them, and what I tend to do is cook them in my stove and in the bag, and boil it and leave it boiling, and I eat it directly out of the bag. It minimises wash up and waste basically, so I try to keep things as efficient as possible. So that's what I take along with me. So I've got a couple of nights worth of food there. I'm hoping to eat out as much as we can because it saves carrying extra stuff, but yeah, I've got a couple of nights as a backup and my breakfast as well. So jumping back down the front here, we've got a windbreak for my stove. I've got snack bars, I've got my whiskey flask, I always like my whiskey flask, and I've got my jet boil stove. I'll do quickly on this. I've had this for a few years now. It's an absolutely fantastic stove. It all packs inside itself, gas and stove regulator, and that's a little stand for the gas as well. So you can see how much kit you actually get in here. I'm not actually done because it actually comes with a pot as well. Brilliant. I've had this in pretty high winds as well. It works great. Overall, I'll put the weight down. I think it's 400 grams without the gas. Again, I'll put the weight up, but I'm spitting everywhere. But basically what it is I do like the ultralight stuff, but there's certain things that I like a wee bit of luxury, and one of them is the jet boil. You could go super ultralight with that and drop quite a few 100 grams off your kit, but I like it. Acts as a mug as well. It's got your handle. As I said, when I'm cooking my meals, I boil them in the bag in the stove. When I'm finished, that comes out. I'm eating that. I put a coffee bag in there and use the water so that I've used to boil. That's what these things here are. They're brilliant. Tailored coffee bags. I love my coffee. So I've got 3 coffees there. I don't take milk in my coffee either, so something less to carry. So that's that. I've got a couple of Lift glucose juices. If you follow me at all, you'll know that both my sons are type 1 diabetic, and they use these if they're ever going hypo, which is low blood sugars. But normal people without diabetes suffer from low blood sugar as well, especially if you're exerting yourself. So it's a great little pick-me-up just to get you going again. Right, jumping back up here, I've got my sleep clothes here. I've got merino wool leggings and shirt, and I've also got a pair of jogging trousers if it's a wee bit cooler. That gets put in a dry bag on its own with the sleeping bag, so that I've got my whole sleep kit and it all stays dry and as clean as I can keep it. That's a priority for me. I like to be able to just get into my bed and it's a setup that I have, clean and dry. So that's that. Right, jumping down the front here, I've got like a bike toolkit. I've got my pump. I've got a spare pair of glasses just to keep the midges and the bugs off your face. If you've done a bit of cycling before, you'll know that happens. You get the bugs and stuff in your eyes. Little Allen keys, some insulation tape and some tie wraps and a spare tube as well. I've got a puncture repair kit in my bag as well. I'll show you that in a second. Water carrier, I've got shorts, a mid layer. I've also got a very lightweight windbreaker in there as well, just for some changes. And as I said, I've got my t-shirts here as well, so that's kind of my clothing setup. I try not to change too much, to be honest with you. You're just going to end up smelly. You just got to take it. Right, quickly moving on. I'll keep going as quick as I can. Right, so I've got my filming kit down there. It's not all of it. I'm using some of it just now, but I've got a lot of my filming kit, my microphones, my lights, a head torch down there as well, obviously. And I've got my drone, which is a bit of a chunk of weight as well. So the drone's there with spare batteries and its charger. I'm hoping to get it charged so I can do some more filming than just the batteries that I take. So I've got that. I've got a plethora of dry bags. I'm losing them. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to need them. The weather's changed quite dramatically from what we'd originally thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be really wet. So I'll get tons of dry bags. I like to segregate my stuff as well so that I can just pick a colour of dry bag and I know that what's in that kit, rather than having to rip through all my bag finding what's what. They're super, super light. They are waterproof. I have tested them. They are waterproof. It's as simple as that. You know, I'm not saying you can fully submerge them, but they're waterproof. They're not submersible bags, I don't think. And I've got my bike bags there as well, which are very waterproof. I've got this small bike bag as well. Inside I've got a puncture repair kit. I've got some more dry bags and stuff like that, and a couple of odds and ends. But that's just a little bike bag. It can actually take a water bladder as well if you want it, just for when we're moving. I don't want too much weight on me whilst I'm cycling. Trying to keep as much weight on the bike as possible. And I've left this out just because I'm still kind of airing it and moving it down about in it as my sleeping bag. Now, sleeping bags are a bit of a thing for me. I'll quickly talk about that. I've got 2 sleeping bags that I use. I've got this one, which is a bike and hike that I got from Amazon, and it's rated to a comfort rating of -1. It's quite a low rating, considering that the temperature's supposed to be about 12-14 degrees. My other sleeping bag is a Decathlon sleeping bag. It's just a cheap one that I got from there. I think it was about £40 at the time. I don't even think they sell it anymore. It's rated as a comfort rating of 15 degrees, which you might think is closer to the temperature that we're going to be in. However, I tend to find that these things don't go anywhere near the temperature that they say they're going to go to. I always tend to go colder, so I kind of default to this black sleeping bag here. I may get it wrong, but the ultimate thing is I can always uncover myself if I get it wrong. It's very hard to go and find some down, isn't it, to put in a sleeping bag if you get it wrong the other way. So I tend to go for the warmer sleeping bag, and just I can uncover myself if I need to. Turn it into a quilt, you know, loosen it right up. It does zip fairly well down. But that's my sleeping bag. It's quite heavy. It's 1.6 or something kilos. I'll show you the weight. You buy cheap, you don't get the ultralight. It's as simple as that. It wasn't even that cheap, by the way. I think it was around 180 quid. It was pretty pricey for what I paid for it. Do your research with the sleeping bags. Take your time, read reviews, get reviews. There's a great website called Ultralight Outdoor Gear. If you go on their website, they have some great deals, and they also organise a lot of their stuff by weight, so you can go with that. But realistically, I think you should be looking at under a kilogram if you're looking for like a 10 to 15 degree sleeping bag. If you're going sub-zero sleeping bags, yeah, I think you're looking at around a kilogram plus. I wouldn't be expecting to get one as quite as heavy as this. It's too heavy. Simple as that. It's too heavy. It's a huge chunk of my weight, and I don't like it. It annoys me. So that's pretty much it. Gear setup, that's you. I'll quickly cut in a picture of my bike, show you the bike all packed. How's that look? Perfect, great. So that's the bike. It's a Boardman ADV9. I just got the bike. This is its first big outing. It's a carbon bike. Did a little bit of research on bike hiking. A lot of people seem to recommend keeping all your bags in line with you because it saves a lot of wind resistance. I can imagine that's really important if you're doing huge distances, and it actually becomes an efficiency thing. We're not doing massive distances. I think the biggest cycle in one day we're doing is 55k, and it'll be broken up as well, so it's not going to be that big a deal. That's it. That's the gear. Right, moving on. Next bit. Okay, hi folks. Yeah, we're here on the island of Jura in the Inner Hebrides. We've just got like the two ferries, one from Kennacraig to Port Askaig on Islay, and then we had to get the smaller ferry over to Jura from Port Askaig. So we've just landed, and we're just about to do our bike hike to our wild camp for tonight. So looking forward to this one. It's been a while since I've done a kind of standard vlog. It's not charity or fundraising or anything like that, so good to get out and about and enjoy the standard kind of mountains peak stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've got a couple of guys, well 3 guys from my work joining me. I've got Andy, Donald, they'll be cycling with me, and I've got Darren, the support driver. So no doubt you'll see them along the route as well. So we've got about an hour's cycle. Just now it's only about 20 kilometres to our wild camp for tonight because it's currently 20 to 4. So we want to try and get there for dinner and get our tent set up and get dinner on the go and get settled in for tonight. Hopefully tomorrow, weather permitting, we're hoping to climb the Paps of Jura. Me and Donald will be attempting that if we can drag ourselves out of our tents at 4 o'clock in the morning. But we'll see how that goes. See how tonight goes, maybe that's probably more accurate. So yeah, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So enjoy the show, guys. Don't forget, like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you further down the road. Just ate my first fly. Yum. Right folks. Oh my god, that's the first hill done. Wow. What's that, 100-metre climb? Can't really, I don't know how to express how steep that was or not steep it was. So you've got a vibe for it. I can maybe try and get something off OS Maps to show you. Yeah, that was a good climb though. That was a good 10 solid, 15 solid minutes of up. Good though, gets the legs pumping. We've got a lot of down now I need to watch. There's a car coming, Donald's just coming in behind me now. There's not been too many cars so far, I think we've had 3 in the first 25 minutes. So it's not been too bad at all. Oh, heart's pumping. Heart is pumping. That was a good climb. So, yeah. Okay, so far views are outstanding. Big Andy's just bringing up the rear now. Yeah, absolutely stunning. So wee Darren and the support cars went off ahead. He's going to go and scope ahead. The first place we should hit, I think, is Craighouse, where the Jura distillery is. And we're going through that today onto Argyll Bute, which is where I believe our wild camp is for this evening. I'll put some wee words up so you can see where we're going. I'll maybe do it again when we get to the wild camp spot. I only picked it through Google Maps and using the street view, so sorry, I'm getting alerts on my watch. The signal's popping in and out. Yeah, it's hot, it's good, views are good, sunny, I like it, love it. Right, going to crack on, and we'll see you a bit further down the track. Right, I'll try and reform my backside, try to put these cleats and clips in. We're away. Oh my God. Doing good, mate, well done. How was a climb? Folks, we've managed to reach Craighouse. So this is the home of Jura whisky. If I just spin you around slightly, that's it right behind me. And we're just taking a wee moment for a refreshment break. So, how's it been so far? Pretty good. There's been some climbs, no two ways about it, but they haven't been ridiculous. We've managed to, all three of us have managed to get up without having to walk the bikes, which is good. That's a good start. And the scenery has just been absolutely outstanding, but don't get me wrong, I believe the weather is certainly helping with that. I'm standing next to a big standing stone. I don't know what this is for actually. Maybe we need to try and find that out. Absolutely stunning though, absolutely stunning. So on the way down the hill into Craighouse, we actually saw the Cruachan mountain range over just north of Oban. Absolutely stunning. I've never seen it like that before, like standing on its own. So that was impressive. So yeah, this is, I can't remember the name of this water, but we're going to a bit of water called, it's basically translated to like Yellow Reef, up at a place called Argyll Bute. So we'll head there. I think we've got about another half hour, 40 minutes of cycling at most. Young Darren, the support driver, he's already on his way there, so should be getting things set up for himself and give us a hand when we get there. Yeah, so far so good, it's been absolutely brilliant. You can tell when the ferries are coming in, we get a big influx of cars, so you do need to pull over and let them through now and again, but so far so good. I haven't fallen yet, touch wood. It's coming, it's coming. But I'll spin you around, hold on, sorry. I don't know if you can see that behind me, hold on, I'll wake you up. That's one of the Paps of Jura, just up behind my head there, if you can see that. There you go, stunning. And, incidentally, that's our campsite tomorrow night, right in front of the Jura Hotel where we hope to eat tomorrow night. So we'll do a wee bit more on that when we get there tomorrow night. So, yeah, absolutely stunning, brilliant, loving it. The bike, how's the bike coming along? Right, so far so good. So this is a Boardman ADV 9.0 carbon framed gravel bike. So Panaracer tyres that are on it. I don't know if this means anything to anybody, but yeah, I'm very new at this. It's a kind of mid-level bike for somebody like me anyway. It's doing well, it's quite light. I've got the top peak backloader bag on the back. That's got some clothes, my stove and some food in there. And in the front I've got my 3-man ultralight hiker 3 tent from Decathlon. And I've got a D-lock there and some lights obviously as well. And I've got my quad lock on there. I have got 2 options for the phone. I could put the phone in this pouch here, but I've opted for that. It's a bit clearer and easier to use. So yeah, so far so good. Not really, I'm still new to the whole bike hiking things. I'll probably elaborate a bit more on it as time goes on, but for the moment that's my setup and it's working okay so far. Right, I'm going to get cracking, get refreshed, and I'll see you a bit further on the trail. cycling drive-bys are worse than hiking walk-bys. Fair view for tonight. Outstanding. Alright folks, welcome to our wild camp on day one on the island of Jura. Absolutely beautiful. Words can't express how pretty this place is. We've proper lucked out with the weather. So, I'll stop nattering on here. It's hard though, it's so pretty. Right, here we have it. The Decathlon Quick Hiker Ultralight 3-person tunnel tent. I'm going to do a setup here and let you see how it goes, see how long it takes. I'll put a wee timestamp up. I'll put a timer on my phone just to get a rough idea of the basic setup. Once it's basically set up, I'll cut the timer, but I'll probably do some tweaks, as you probably would do anyway, just to get it perfect for yourself. But I think basic setup should take under 10 minutes. Yeah, so we're going to get cracking here. I've got a cracking spot. The ground looks a wee bit hard, but I've got my hard ground tent pegs with me, so hopefully they'll do the trick. Right, let's get cracking.
Sun in the sky, sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Birds flying high, breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. Birds flying high, sun in the sky, sun in the sky, you know how I feel.
Okay folks, I think that's me get most of my setup done. I'll do the fine tuning a wee bit later on, just before my battery dies. So I've got my chair, camp chair set up. It's quite light, it's under, I think it's about 1.5 kilo or something like that. It's not too heavy, I can throw it on the bike. But in the tent, let's dive in. Oh, there we go. I'm falling all over the place. Like I said, there's not that much headroom. So, here we are, we're in the tent. I have my sleeping bag, which I think is going to be far too warm for tonight, but I can always just cover myself like a duvet, it's not that big a deal. I've got my Decathlon helium pillow, and I've got my leggings for tonight as well, like clean bedclothes for tonight. Like we said, there's tons of room in here. I mean, I'm almost lying horizontally here. I don't know if you can see that. I'm almost lying horizontally along there, so there's tons of room. I've got side pockets, hooks for a lantern, tons of ventilation. Can even open up that more if I need to. Absolutely tons of ventilation, so no gripes with that. We talked about the vestibule quite a lot. Look at that, I've got my slippers. Insulated slippers there. Again, tons of room to cook in, tons of room to store gear in, extra ventilation too. Chair's set up, I've got most of my gear sorted, just some fine tuning to do. The guys have mostly set up their kit, tents are up, chairs are getting set up, so we're looking good. We have one of the most amazing views in Scotland right now. Wow. So, going to do a little bit of finishing touches and then get dinner on the go. So yeah, that'll be pretty much it for tonight. So early start tomorrow morning, we're getting up about 4 o'clock to try and tackle. You can just see the peak behind me, the Paps of Jura. So that'll be fun, we'll see how that goes. But today's been a good day. Only been about an hour and a half, hour 45 cycling total. We had quite a bit of breaks as well for filming. So, all good. Loving it. Right, we'll see you in the morning. Take care.
Birds flying high.